What does negotiating, let's say, or winning mean, and in what kind of situation?
Yeah, so to me, winning really looks like freedom for you
Hmm.
as a human. It means being able to have personal success. And in order to be able to do that, you have to be able to come to a resolution. And
Hmm.
in normal circumstances, in regular circumstances, most people can sit down and have a conversation with people and go, well, how can we come to a resolution that
Yeah.
works for both of us?
Hmm.
And, where we can uh, look at what are the circumstances here? What do you want? What do I want? How can what both of us want,
Mm.
and come to some kind of a conversation that works for both of us.
Yes.
When you are talking to a person who has narcissistic qualities or even narcissistic personality disorder,
Hmm.
it's a completely different type of a conversation, because you are talking to a person who has damage to the limbic system part of their brain, and potentially, when that is happening, the emotional center of their brain could be activated. The cortex part of their brain could potentially be
Mm.
shut down because of what's happening. They're in their fight or flight mode. And if that's happening, then you're not dealing with a person who's rational. You're not
Yes.
dealing with a person who wants to work with you in a rational state. And so this person is not even working in their own best interests a lot of
Yeah.
time. They really are looking for ways to continue to manipulate this other person. And so they're trying to overlay rational
Hmm.
on what's not rational.
Yeah.
And so you can't put rational terms into this negotiation. And that's why it continues to spiral and spiral and spiral.
Yes.
And so when you're trying to negotiate with this person, the regular rules of a negotiation don't apply. They
Yeah.
just won't apply. And so having to negotiate with a narcissistic personality means that creating leverage, creating ways to communicate with this person are completely different. You have to learn how to, first of all, potentially regulate your own nervous system
Oh,
first,
yes.
and then learn how to communicate with this other person in a way that you're going to get what you want, or get to
Yeah.
the place that you're going to be able to move on and have the outcome that you want. If you are thinking this is a person that is going to eventually be somebody that you have to deal with,
Yes.
and you're going to have to prove their behavior, or in some way
Hmm.
documenting their behavior is
Hmm.
something that you're going to want to do, because in that discard phase, they will want to take you down before you take them down, because they're afraid of what you might say about them.
Hmm.
And so they start to smear you.
So the smear you part is like making some kind of false accusations about you at work, or something, maybe how you're not performing or something along
Mhm.
those lines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What a covert narcissist might do is, oh, I'm so concerned about Susie.
Hmm.
She's been late a lot at
Mm.
work. Um, and that's not like her.
Yeah.
Um, she's usually so on time. I don't know what's been happening with her.
Yeah. Just in
Mhm.
the act of doing that, it's not an expression of concern or care, but they're putting something out in the environment to call attention to the fact
Mhm.
that Susie has been late to work in this example.
Right. When you're dealing with a narcissist, there's two different forms of supply. There is what I call diamond level supply, which is all driven by ego, image. They will protect and defend this at any cost. So that is anything related to, it could be prestige, it could be the types of friends that they have, it could be how they look to the world. It could be the type of job that they have. It could be
Mm.
the home that they have. It could be their new wives. It could be the judge in a case. It could be any combination of those things. But I call it the outer
Okay.
shell,
Like their
right?
primary is it like their primary source of supply?
Definitely the primary source of supply.
Okay.
It will protect and defend this at any cost.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It keeps them
Then
alive. Yeah, it keeps them going. Okay.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Secondary source of supply is what I call the dark underbelly of supply. Also very, very important. Also part of their drug addict. They're addicted to all forms of supply, but it is their
Oh,
secondary source of supply. This is manipulation. This is pushing other people down to make themselves feel good. This is controlling other people. This is that talking badly about other people, the smearing of
yes.
other people, that side of things. The
Yeah, like
side
that
that they,
example you gave earlier with Susie, right? That would be like
yes,
this kind of supply, like, oh, I'm concerned
right.
about Susie always being late. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That's just why they don't necessarily show other people, but it's also very important. But when you're creating leverage, what you want to do is actually threaten a source of supply that's more important for them to keep than the supply that they get from manipulating. Because
Mm.
that's how you actually create that leverage. Because they will let go of that what I call coal level supply in order to protect that diamond level supply. If you are grounded and know who you are, and so the why is you in your power. You know who a narcissist respects the most and is so afraid of is the person who really knows who they are. The truth of the matter is the narcissist is more afraid of you than you are of them. They're afraid
Yeah.
of you abandoning them. They're afraid of you leaving them. They're afraid that you're going to see who they are. And the more powerful you become, the more you are evolved, the
Yeah.
more you stand up to them, the more they're going to start having a tantrum and all of those things. But it's because that's their worst fear.